Hi Gina.
Hi Ione. Hi everyone. I'm Gina, the senior editor of Polyester.
And I'm Ione, the founding editor-in-chief of Polyester, and this is the Polyester Podcast, a feminist pop culture podcast dissecting the discourse on a weekly basis.
Before we start, if you're a fan of this podcast, please make sure to like, rate, subscribe and review. And if you really love us, you can sign up for a podcast membership where you can join our WhatsApp chat, get access to our research each week, and get on our Instagram close friends for only £3 a month. We also now have a Substack called Non-Threatening Boys Asterix, where we will be sharing exclusive content twice a month on the Boy of the Hour. Do you have any reviews, Ione?
We do. Woo! So many people have left nice reviews. It's so cute. 5 stars, a weekly treat. I've been listening to this podcast since June 2022 and it is consistently 5 stars. I love how your critical perspectives offer an alternative perspective to the blanket opinions that often flood the internet. Online, it feels like there is a right and wrong opinion with little nuance, but you guys always offer critical analysis and insights connected to the wider world. 10 out of 10 will never stop listening. Keep it up. And that is by Cynthia in Ireland.
Wow, that's really generous. Thank you.
Very nice.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening for so long.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for the review.
Thank you for the review.
What are we talking about this week, Ione Gambo?
We're talking about Wicked.
The wickedly talented Ariana Grande. And Cynthia.
Do you know what I really hate? The fact that that meme is like so popular that people write it into TV shows now.
Do they?
Yeah, and I've seen so many TV shows where they're like, the wickedly talented when someone's accepting an award, and I'm like,
the wickedly talented.
I hate it. It's my worst thing when people use internet jokes in real life telly or films. Like, think of something better.
What are you on about?
Like when people steal memes from the internet and write it into their script.
You literally quote TikToks at me all the time.
I'm not writing TV. If I was writing TV, I'd think of original jokes.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. Also, my only other thought about
I hate it when people do it in songs as well.
What do you mean in songs?
Like that Troye Sivan song that's like, face card, no cash, no credit. I hate it.
Fair enough. That's a whole other discussion to have about internet
we're
language,
not talking about that anyway.
And we're not talking about that today. We're talking about Wicked. The film sensation that's about to hit our screens.
We're not being sponsored by Wicked, I promise.
Also, probably hit our screens by now, by the time you're listening to this, dear listener.
Of course it will. It comes out on the 22nd.
On the 26th. It's the 21st we're recording this, by the way, guys. If something like crazy happens, leave us out of it.
So we haven't actually seen Wicked yet, but obviously I'm sure everyone on the internet or in the world will have seen that it's been a huge marketing effort and a huge publicity rollout for the film. Biggest film of the year, probably.
Yeah, definitely the biggest. It's like this year's Barbie.
That's what people are saying, but then did you see that tweet where it's like, Barbie and Wicked have the best 2 marketing campaigns of the last 2 years, and then someone quote tweeted it like, no, because Barbie actually made worldwide impact where no one gives a fuck about Wicked outside of the US. Everyone
gives a fuck about Wicked? Sienna's been going apeshit?
Fuck's sake. No, I do think though that it's taken the Barbie kind of a footprint. What's it called?
Yeah.
Blueprint.
Yeah. I was going to go with footprint. I was like, yeah, take it.
It's taken the Barbie blueprint and has tried to do that. Something that keeps coming up for me. So on my Facebook, I still have Facebook. I don't use it, but I always look
I'm always on Facebook.
I always look at the Facebook video reels, like Facebook's version of reels, because it's just like the most unhinged version of anything. And so much of it, it's probably run off from our Stanley Cup episode, but it's people trying to get to Starbucks and Target to get the Wicked special cups. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen Trisha doing it.
Trisha's been doing it, but then so many people have been doing it. So it's basically Wicked is on everything. Buses, Stanley Cups.
They've got Wicked stuff in Primark as well at the minute, don't they?
Primark, Starbucks, literally anywhere they can put a Wicked on, they have.
Yeah, the marketing budget must be fucking mental.
I feel like we've been hearing about this film for years and years and years. And the thing is, I don't know anything about Wicked. Well, when I heard about not when I heard about the film, 6 months ago or something, I remember it was in winter. I read the Wikipedia synopsis
of Wicked
out loud. And it took me 20 minutes. None of your business.
Just privately reading aloud.
No, there was someone else. What?
Someone else is so shifty. Sorry, I'm really distracted now.
But I feel like the more I hear about this film, the less I know. I saw another tweet yesterday that was a review basically saying that Wicked wasn't political enough or something. It wasn't talking about... No, it was political. It was kind of changing it was building on Wizard of Oz and becoming like more political and like exposing corrupt politicians and blah, 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 blah. And then someone quote tweeted like, what the fuck are you talking about? Wizard of Oz is literally about like a fake leader. And then that all really confused me.
Well, I think in Wicked, it's a bit ham-fisted, like the obviously like don't exclude someone who's different, but then they've got this really like convoluted B plot about like how animals used to speak, and in the Wizard is making the animals not be allowed to speak anymore, and it's trying to be like racism to the animal species, and it's it just doesn't really go anywhere. It's not really done well in the musical, which I only saw for the first time like 2-3 months ago in preparation for the film.
Okay, so Gina is not our resident Wicked expert. It's Seaham, but Seaham's not on the podcast, so I'm sure she's wanting to jump in. But for anyone that doesn't know, could you just give us like a 2-minute rundown of the plot of Wicked, please?
Yeah, so the plot of Wicked is that there's a university in the Emerald City.
Also, I'm not being funny. How embarrassing. You're making a prequel to The Wizard of Oz and you set it at uni.
Well, I think when it was written in like 1995, it was like college, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's embarrassing.
Meh.
It's like when they did Monsters University. It's like, why are you thinking of university?
Fuck off, Monsters University slaps.
Yeah, it is good, but it's like such an embarrassing place to set something.
Yeah, like...
if it's not Legally Blonde or Cruel Intentions.
If it's not the things that I like. I think that, well, inherently, all musicals are embarrassing.
Is it because of Harry Potter that they set it at a uni?
When Harry Potter came out in 97.
Oh. Is it because of
and also Harry
Wicked that Harry Potter set at school?
Maybe.
Anyway, go on.
Right, so Wicked is primarily set at a university outside of the Emerald City.
That has a really stupid name though, I can't remember what it is.
And Galinda's like a sorority girl there, like she's the blonde one who like is the bully and like everyone loves her, but like no one really knows why, like she's the queen bee. And then Elphaba arrives because his sister's enrolled in the school, and her sister is in a wheelchair and needs like an assistance basically for like if she's living away from home. So Elphaba goes and also gets enrolled in the school, even though everyone's like, you shouldn't be here, you big green freak.
Because she's green.
Because she's green. And then Madame Marable, the like head of the school, does once it like in every year group picks like someone who she thinks has magical potential and does them like one-on-one tutoring on how to be magic, basically. And Elphaba gets it, and Galinda's fuming because she's like, well, it should have been me, like, I'm the, like, prime person for it. And then they end up, I don't know why, they end up sharing a bedroom, Galinda and Elphaba, and obviously they hate each other. And then Elphaba's, like, really kind and is like, well, I think Galinda should do the lessons with me, Madame Marble. Madame Marble lets her in, and then they become friends. And then as part of this, like, magic stuff, they get invited to go to the Emerald City and meet the wizard. So they go, and then it all like comes out that like the wizard's a sham, and he's doing all this stuff to all the animals, like I said, like, and trying to like make them like a subspecies that can't speak anymore. So then Elphaba's like, fuck this, we need to expose him. Galinda's like,
wait, we don't actually need like everything this minute. What's the like top line?
This is what I'm saying. Galinda is like, nah, I think that I'm going to side with the wizard. Right. And then there's also like a romantic plot where Galinda's dating this guy and he wants to fuck Elphaba. And then that's part one.
But then I thought that the whole thing was about how Elphaba isn't actually bad. It's been distorted.
Well, that's the thing. Then it becomes like this big propaganda campaign where they're like, we need to catch this witch. She's going to expose the wizard, and they're going to expose Madame Marble for like having this propaganda campaign against animals. And she's doing like IRA good terrorism.
Fucking hell, man.
And then it kind of like gets so stupid. It's like, and then that lion that she freed, that's the cowardly lion. And the red ruby slippers, she made them for her sister so she could walk, and like all just stupid shit like that. Like it starts throwing in all the like wizard stuff at the end. Wizard of Oz stuff at the end.
Okay.
That's the synopsis.
So, the making of Wicked and the press surrounding it has been as dramatic as Wicked itself, by the sounds of it.
Well, yes.
What are some of the top lines of the drama? So, let's just start with the biggest drama and get it out the way, because we're not going to touch on it that much, is everyone saying how skinny Ariana, Grande, and Cynthia Erivo have gotten.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
So everyone's it's become like this whole discourse in and of itself, being like, Ariana's clearly anorexic, look how much weight she's lost. And then also saying about Cynthia, and then trying to be like, they're in a competitive eating disorder thing with one another. because eating disorders are naturally competitive. And then saying that it's the stress from the movie that's made them that way. And then on top of that, they're saying, just like, people are then going and being like, you can't decide someone's got an eating disorder from like their Getty images. Like, stop saying that people have that. And then there's two sides of the argument where people are going, no, we really do need to talk about this. Like, it's a really bad issue for young women. And then the other side of people are being like, well, everyone talking about this is making my eating disorder come back, so can we not?
Yeah, so there's been like before and after TikToks basically that show them like before they were cast and then after on the press run. And then also, then there's like, the secondary one, like, only here can you get diagnosed by the public with anorexia/general ED personality disorder or coke addiction, all in less than 5 days. They also believe everyone. I've seen every one of these accusations, mostly with 100k likes. There is something deeply wrong with you all. And then, other people being like, what bothers me most about the Ariana Grande body image discourse is why you're acting like anorexia is the issue of a famous woman when it affects a lot of women everywhere. The fact I've never seen you talk about her respectfully even before this Wicked press tour. And to jump to the worst conclusion, the Wicked set is scary because it's caused Cynthia and Ari to have a competitive ED battle with each other, which is why they're always crying from trauma. It's absolutely insane and chronically online, like, instead of just considering that. I think, so the press tour also has been like ginormous, like, I feel like we've been on it for months and it's only been like 5 days. They've done like Australia.
No, they've been doing it for years.
No, but like the premiere, I mean, like all the premieres have been this week, like Australia to LA to London, and then I think Dubai. Like it's all. I
generally thought it'd been like 2 months.
No. It's all this week.
They've been doing BuzzFeed interviews non-stop.
No, it's all this week.
That's great. No, they're fucking knackered then. No wonder she looks like shit.
Gina. No, I think the press tour, obviously it has been like extremely rigorous and they are trying to make this like a huge, massive film. So then the secondary thing is that they keep crying on this press tour, like to each other, like when they talk about how much they love each other. But then, okay, wait, let's go from A to B here. A, I think the skinniness and the eating disorder issue and like talking about their bodies is just like very difficult to navigate. And I'm not sure if it's something that we can add we can't add anything to it. Do you know what I mean? Like anything we say is gonna not be good. Like as in not because we have anything bad to say, but I feel like in general the conversation is so toxic, like on all ends. It's such a weird, uncanny valley, like stressful thing to witness, I feel like people making like Chadwick Boseman comparisons, like being like, I thought we learnt not to comment on people's bodies, like all of this back and forth. And I just don't think it does anyone any good. Like even, obviously it won't do the two women any good. Obviously lots of people are finding it triggering for them. And like, what is it doing to anyone to be having this discourse constantly?
Yeah, I think it's just such a personal, like everyone's got a personal relationship with disordered eating, even if it's not them personally who's experienced it, that they're going to have like an opinion that's really extreme regardless. And like we said before, like when you have an opinion like that, you take it really personally when people disagree with you. Mm-hmm. And it just like ramps up and up and up to be this thing where it's not even about like the health and safety of these two women. And also talking about it isn't really going to help them, if anything's going on, be better.
Yeah, like how could it possibly help just having like thousands of people being like, ooh, look at their bodies? Like, surely
yeah, literally.
That's not the vibe.
If it was me, I'd be like, right, it's working.
Especially, yeah, like they're obviously under so much tremendous pressure, like going from literal continent to continent in 24 hours. It just feels like something bad is coming down the pipeline, I will say. Like, it's kind of like what we were saying with when everyone was giving Chapel Roan so much shit. It's like, what good can actually come from all of this discourse just like around famous people? And like we've spoken about before, like how much that actually touches celebrities or not. But even still, it's like even having these discourses with each other on the internet, it's like really nothing good comes out of it. And if you're feeling affected by something like that, it's going to be more fruitful for you to go and speak to someone about it. Like, I'm not saying go speak to a professional. That's crazy. But I mean, do that if you want. But like, just speak to your friends.
No, I'm joking.
Like, speak to someone, because like, I think it's so different to have these conversations in private than on a public platform all the time. Because also, people don't opt into seeing this or not.
Exactly.
Like, because the marketing campaign is so big, therefore the discourse that follows is being thrown into our algorithms all the time, which means we can't avoid it, which means you can't opt out of seeing this. And it is horrible to see, even if you aren't affected by by eating disorders or by body image.
I definitely think, like, in my personal experience of having this stuff as well, like, once you see one of it, you go into a black hole and just start, like, looking into it more, like, and it affects you in that way. Like, it just needs to be, like, removed for it to like not affect people.
Yeah, I saw someone reply on our Instagram reel about incels yesterday, like they need to wipe incels off the internet like they did ED Tumblr back in the day. And like it's just because of the way the internet is now, and especially Twitter and TikTok, like we're kind of in the like hellscape time of the internet. And with that, we are going to a break.
We're back. Hello.
So then on to B. They keep crying. So the interviewer asks, in what way has the person sitting next to you changed you for good, to Ariana and Cynthia? And they both start crying. And then they have cried in loads of other interviews as well. And then they've also talked about getting like loads of friendship tattoos while they were filming. And then they showed them all off and were like, this is for something, this is for something else. And then, so then it's become like a thing in itself of people asking like, oh, why are you crying all the time? Ariana Grande addressed it by saying, why does emotional availability scare you so?
Rude. Yeah, and then I think a lot of people are taking it from a cynical lens, being like they don't actually like each other that much. They're just putting it on as part of the PR campaign. People are saying like they're trying to emulate the relationship that Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth had, who originated the role on Broadway and were known for being really close. Which is interesting, because they're taking the two lead roles that are best friends, and with a complicated relationship, and then what people are projecting onto them is that maybe they are friends, but there's like a complication there. There's something like underneath the surface.
I think it's also, yeah, it's like very much been like the key piece of the press tour as well. Probably because they're trying to divert from the fact that Ariana got with Ethan Slater on the Wicked set, and like her reputation took a massive hit for that, like getting with a married man. She was also married at the time, right? But then they got divorced. So that gave, and then she had that reputation for like literally all of last year where everyone was like, Ariana the homewrecker, blah, 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 which was stupid anyway. So, and also like her and Ethan aren't really being photographed on the carpets together and like stuff like that. So it feels like this is definitely some sort of like diversion from that they're trying to generate like a different conversation around it. And like Seaham pointed out that they're definitely purposefully engagement baiting on the Wicked press run as well. Like they released a clip of Ariana doing Popular, but then they put the lyrics as something wrong, and so everyone in the comments was like, no, it's poise not ploys, I think it was.
It was the other way around, but even Ariana commented on it being like, guys, it's ploys, like at the official Wicked account.
Yeah, so and Sian was like, that's so clearly like baiting
done on purpose,
it.
yeah.
So but it just feels like there's such a weird thing where it's like literally everything, like it's literally been all over pop culture. It's literally become this kind of like myth within itself, which also harks back to the original Wizard of Oz film, because didn't everyone get like lead poisoning or something on the original Wizard of Oz film and like ended up dying and had really bad complications and illness and stuff? And obviously there was loads of stuff around like Judy Garland and like how she was treated on film sets and stuff like that. So I feel like it's kind of very in the spirit of like old Hollywood, but kind of derogatory. It's like generating a lot of controversy, not even just controversy, but just it feels like we're spinning around the central axis, which is the Wicked film.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting the way that people are, specifically Ariana, like phrasing her to be like this is the role of a lifetime and she would have done anything for it. And now like she's paying the price for doing it and stuff like that. Like there was one comment on Reddit that was like, okay, it's by Charlotte Bronsley. Brilliant username. And they say, okay, it's probably weird how much thought I've given to this, and it's insane how dark her career/life has been. I almost think that we'll one day talk about Ariana Grande in the same way we do Marilyn, Judy Garland, obviously, from the original Wizard of Oz, and other tragic starlet figures. If you think about it, she starts as a teenager on Dan Schneider's show, playing this gross, sexy baby character. When she's in her early 20s, her concert gets bombed by terrorists, 23 people die. A little over a year later, her fairly recent ex-boyfriend passes away. She's blamed for it. Around that same time, she gets an insane whirlwind engagement that ends in her ex publicly threatening to kill himself. Her live tweet from outside the SNL studio asking them to let her up to see him. Now she's obviously emaciated. I mean, that's a bit insane.
Emaciated is a crazy turn of phrase here.
Divorced and dating some hideous nobody. Who abandoned his wife and baby to be with her. She seems so eerie and sad, but like she's never had a sense of self. Also fucking crazy to say about someone that you don't know.
Never had a sense of self. Did you see that Elizabeth Olsen said that as well recently.
What about Ariana?
Not in like a mean way though, but it was just like so weirdly shady. It was like Elizabeth Olsen got interviewed and she was like, I love the pop girls. Like, I love Ariana Grande. Like how she can have a phase. Pop girls love phases.
I mean, yeah, but usually it's like in Madonna, not everyone being like going from homewrecker to fucking anorexic.
Fucking hell, Gina.
Do you know what I mean though? Usually it's like, Madonna's not wearing a comb bra now. Madonna's got like a boy toy belt.
Well, I feel like Ariana's definitely trying to mimic that though, like, and also obviously the thing is she's kind of in a lose-lose situation. I'm not saying anything about her weight in this, but everyone obviously like memed her into oblivion for being Black Iana, and then she was like, everyone was saying she was cosplaying as Asian, and then when she was on The Voice and stuff, and then now she's like gone blonde and is obviously trying to be a white girl and like is trying to like embody Glinda, and everyone's got a problem with that as well. Like I think she really does face like an extreme sense, like an extreme version of public scrutiny. Like even with the Ethan Slater figures, like people cheat on each other and like relationships change all the time, especially in celebrity land. But I feel like we hadn't really seen that level of like furore around it since Brad and Angelina.
Yeah, I think the question on my lips is...
Your lips, specifically.
The question on my lips is she playing into it, do you think? Or do you think she's just like a victim of circumstance?
I don't know, because I'm not that deep into the lore of it. Like, I'm not that deep into the fandom. I'm not that deep into Ariana lore. Like, I know she has in the past played into it, like, with Seven Rings. That was obviously, like, all her exes and stuff. But I guess it's that thing that also people say about Taylor Swift lol. It's like, are you playing into it when that is just your life and your experiences and you are a songwriter that is writing about them? Like, can you really avoid playing into it in that way? I think it's dark if we assume her to be playing into like all the discourse that's going around about her body at the moment, and like that just seems like a whole other level of thing. But I feel like she definitely plays into the mythology, like the mythologizing of Wicked and her, and also it's probably why she got the part. Like, let's be honest, like I'm not saying she wasn't the best person in the room, but because there's like this whole arc and that she like met Kristen Chenoweth, is that how you say her last name?
Yeah.
She met her when she was like 7 or something because she won a competition to go backstage, and then she's like had all these moments in her life that like connect her to Wicked and etc etc. Like if you're a casting director, you'd be like, okay, we definitely have to do that.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like the director John Chu has like gone on the record being like, I didn't want Ariana when she auditioned. I made her like remove all her pop starness, like take all her makeup off and come back, and she kept just being like the person in the room that was so amazing. It's kind of like just this like A Star Is Born sort of like narrative that's following her based on this film, which
again is very tragic.
Tragic tale. I think they're trying to like, and everyone's played into it because everyone wants that like tragic Hollywood story.
Yeah, it's all a bit gross to me personally.
Yeah,
and also creepy. I feel like, I don't know, it is fun to have these like big movie moments, but something turns me off about like the Wicked marketing campaign, like especially in a year where we've been speaking about like underconsumption and this and that, and like Wicked coming out near Christmas just means that every shelf of every shop is just stacked with shit, like pink and green shit, and it's ruined the best colour combination.
Yeah, we talked about
Gina
this
ruined this for me yesterday by saying that pink and green will always be associated with Wicked now.
I don't mean always, I just mean
I love pink and
if
green.
we're doing something next to it, probably shouldn't next week. Next month it shouldn't be green and pink theme.
I am wearing a green jumper today and Gina is wearing a pink jumper and we didn't plan it, even though see her masters too, so maybe it was subconscious.
I think it was a bit, I was doing it a bit this morning, being like, in the mirror being like,
oh, you did it on purpose? I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, I thought you'd turn up in pink and then we could have a scrub.
Do you think it suits us? I don't know anything about
You said that.
I don't know anything about either of the characters.
Do you think the characters suit us?
Like, yeah.
Well, I hope I'm not a fucking heinous bitch, actually.
Why? No, she was. Well, why is she so happy to be playing this character if she's a heinous bitch?
Because she... Siam's shaking her head. Siam's like, she's not. She is just a dick. In the play. Oh, anyway, I'm going off topic.
Why is she so attached to this character then if she's mean?
Because people... It's still like a amazing role. People want, like, complicated roles. If you're an actor.
I don't understand.
Anyway, I think we've done enough chatting about Ariana and we should move on to Cynthia.
Oh yeah, that's true, because we are guilty of doing the next thing that has actually happened to Cynthia on this, which is minimising her contribution to the film.
Yes.
So Cynthia has been also embroiled in a lot of controversy, but slightly different. So there was like someone AI'd a poster to make the film poster match the famous Broadway one.
No, someone edited the film poster to look like the Broadway one, but there's also...
Yeah, but it was with AI.
No, there's also a different AI thing going around.
Oh.
That's of Ariana whispering to Cynthia, "Is your pussy green?" Which has been like a meme around Wicked for years. And then they have like a fist fight in like the AI.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of like Cynthia did like this massive Instagram story being like, "This is fucked up. Like, how dare you change the static poster to like remove my gaze into the camera."
Yeah.
And she also references the AI in that. But I think she's probably more pissed off about the "Is your pussy green" one.
I mean, I think there's two parts of this. So then obviously when the original poster was edited, she put up this Instagram story that was like, it seemed like a massive overreaction basically, and was accepted by the internet as a massive overreaction. And it was basically just being like, yeah, you're erasing me. I made this choice on purpose, and yeah, etc., etc., etc. I can't find the exact screenshot now. But then, with all the premieres that have been this week, so the London premiere was earlier this week, and all of the papers the next day were just pictures of Ariana Grande. Like, there was not one kind of like broadsheet or tabloid or anything. All the front pages were like, Ariana Grande stuns at Wicked London premiere. And Cynthia is British and like didn't get any press basically, and everyone was saying it's like a very obvious example of like racism. She also got loads of shit when she got casted, obviously, because everyone was like, why is Elphaba black? Like, woke girl mad, all of this stuff. So I think it's like, I mean, also that would like take such a psychological toll on you in terms of like, you're in this role and it's like potentially one of the biggest roles of your life. Like, I know she's extremely established and successful like Broadway star before and film star, but like obviously this is kind of like a level of eyes on a film that even most films just don't get this basically.
Yeah.
So it's a huge amount of pressure, and then to see that you've been like, your contributions to the film have been like, you've been written out of the press basically, which is probably why her and Ariana are doing so much press together as well. Like, A, to build this friendship narrative so Ariana like gets her image cleaned a bit, but then B, because Ariana is the bigger star, and like because of racism and all of these other things. Like, I'm not saying it's deserved that she is or whatever, but like she has like a pop star fan base, and this is her first film, whereas like Cynthia is like more of like a Broadway actress that is like thespian vibes, do you know what I mean? Like revered in the industry, but maybe not everyone will know who she is going clean in to see Wicked. So yeah, I think that's really shitty, obviously.
Yeah, I think it also... It just... It's weird that these two women are the front of this film, and then people are just like digging up dirt on them.
Oh yeah, so I mean, there's always been things about Cynthia where people have just like not liked her, and like obviously we can also talk about nothing exists in a vacuum, right? So Cynthia has always been someone that's been like outspoken online, also did problematic things online, like what was it, like 10 years ago, 11 years ago?
Yeah, when she was in the Broadway Harriet Tubman play.
Yeah, and she was basically like, someone resurfaced tweets of her mocking Black Americans in particular, because Cynthia is British, but then also like she has kind of been known to not even make, like, I'm reticent to say even diva behaviour, but to just like be outspoken and speak her mind, let's just put it that way. Like, even when Ariana and her were announced, so there was even like a viral tweet that was like, Cynthia Erivo when she learned that Ariana Grande was cast as Glinda in Wicked, and then quote, absolutely no surprise whatsoever, thank goodness, because it was not the two ladies that I was auditioning with. And so then everyone was like, oh, she's a bitch, she's a bitch, she's a bitch. Like, I feel like it's been going around Twitter for years that she is. And I swear there was something else as well, but I might be wrong, where she like had some drama with Lena Waithe.
Yeah.
Kissing. See, I'm doing kissing. Yeah. And those people were being like, oh, we have not been on the same Twitter because like everyone's hated her this whole time. But I also think it kind of shows like how susceptible we are to, not like brainwashing, that's so dramatic, but to like forming our opinions around other people's opinions. Sorry, this sounds like so stupid, like I'm literally saying like psychology 101. But like how we are influenced by the internet and their opinions of her, like, because even with Ariana, like when everyone was hating her for getting with SpongeBob, we were all like, yeah. And now we're like, now with Cynthia like being a diva or being whatever, we're like, yeah, tomato, tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Mm.
And it's quite cruel.
Yeah, I saw one of the quote tweets of everyone kicking off about it was like, literally, Patti LuPone does this every other week, and everyone's like, yes, Eva.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's
There's
just
just so many different standards for black women, especially like in the world, but especially when you're a celebrity and like under intense scrutiny.
Yeah, and the role of a fucking lifetime, which is what they're trying to like pose. And it's weird that they like posing Ariana as this is like the role of a lifetime for her. Like she's been waiting her whole life for this. It's like her biggest dream she's made for it. But they're not doing that for Cynthia.
Well, they are, I will say, because I've been being fed this Sky TV advert that's been coming on between all of my shows on streaming, which everyone knows I hate, where it's like they're basically showing clips of, it's like a weird montagey advert, and they're showing clips of Cynthia's audition and Ariana's audition, and then they show the recording of when they got told about the role as well, because remember that went viral when Ariana was told and she's like crying. They did that with both of them, and then they have them like walk to the middle of a soundstage and like hold hands, and then the yellow brick roads, and they walk down it, and it's like wicked.
That sounds lovely. But I also think but the fans aren't doing that.
No, the fans aren't doing that, but I think like fandom is so toxic. I feel like this whole year has been defined by how the internet is so toxic. Basically, I feel like we're seeing unprecedented levels of it, and it's weird because we're seeing this like exchange of like marketing teams feeding into it, but then also denouncing it. And I like, not to cast judgment on like either of the leads, but I feel like it will be one of those things in like 5 years where there will be like, whoa, what the hell was that? Like even now we look back on Don't Worry Darling press tour and we're like, we were all nuts for how we behaved then.
Yeah, literally been like zoom ins of did he spit on his lap?
Oh my god, I did find out the ends with us drama though, but I'm not going to say on.
You told me.
Did I?
Yep, it's fucking crazy.
If you want to know, DM me. No, I'm joking.
No, you can't.
If you want to know, join the WhatsApp.
Did you say that?
No. But I will if enough people join. No, I'm joking, I won't.
Maybe, yeah, I think this is enough of this episode now.
I mean, I am going to go see Wicked, and the thing is, if there wasn't all of this, I wouldn't have gone and seen it because I don't care about Wicked. Like, I thought that Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel, well, I thought Idina Menzel got famous from Frozen.
Fuck off.
No, I'm not joking.
She's literally in Rent being like the horniest lesbian.
I haven't seen Rent. B, I thought Kristen Chenoweth got famous from Glee.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
That's just my truth.
That's hurt my feelings.
And I don't feel like I'm culturally
and if you
inept
watched
because I
Deck
didn't
the
care
Halls
about
with
Wicked.
you last year, and she's incredible in that.
Yeah, but I saw Glee when I was like 13 or whatever it was.
That film's from before Glee.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it? Well, I hadn't seen Deck the Halls. I would have thought she was famous from Deck the Halls.
Yeah, but you should know before the Wicked tour.
Why?
Because we watched Deck the Halls before the Wicked stuff come out.
What the hell are you on about? I'm saying in my life, the timeline of my life, I thought that Kristen Chenoweth got famous from Glee and Idina Menzel got famous from Frozen. And that's just my truth.
Well, you're allowed your truth, my love.
I'm just saying, Wicked doesn't have the global impact that people think it does, so maybe I agree with the initial tweet. Like, I feel like you're just a certain type of person if you care about Wicked. I'm casting no judgment on you. I'm glad you have your thing that you like. Not you personally, like, people that do care about Wicked, I'm happy for you. But it's not like everyone cares about Wicked in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
But now I will go and see Wicked.
I think they've done a great job of marketing.
They've done a great job, because we're here talking about it.
And we're going to go see it this weekend.
Yeah, so we'll let you know what we think. Okay, everyone.
Love you.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Ione.
Thank you to Seaham for the research and the Vim.
Thank you, Olivia, for editing.
And thank you to all of you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.